And next week could be a really interesting week. It could be a another week of the record books. I know we're hitting all time highs, and everybody's expecting a rollover. Everybody's expecting August to be like last year, but that was a China drama, and they seem to have fallen off the radar. But I just wanted to show you the charts because that's all that really matters. If you look at SPY, we had a buy signal on SPY on Friday, and option expiration probably held it down. Going into next week is OPEX for the month, and that's typically a bullish month. So we're making a series of higher lows. The intensity is over 50. We got a crossover on momentum, so I would say that I don't see SPY being bearish next week. Looking at oil, we had an incredible reversal in oil. And we've been chasing oil down here for the into the month of July, and then we had a bounce, and then it went ahead and it hit this trend line here, came down, and it just blew through it on Thursday, and continued on Friday. And I think probably it'll probably go up again a little bit next week, along with everything else, and then it'll probably need to take a breather. But that is one heck of a move in oil, and I just think the lows are probably in. At least seasonally, oil is positive in August and into September. So shorting oil is probably going to be a problem for people. And then if you combine the two and you look at ERX, is that if the market's probably going to be up and oil is going to be up or at least not down, is that we're going to see a breakout here, and this is setting up for another buy. The intensity is over 80, which is in my view is embedded. That means the trend is pretty strong, and we rode this trade up once, and we got back into it again on Friday morning. And my expectation is that ERX is going to be a pretty good move for us for at least through September. So we're long ERX as well. And then going into the miners is my favorite is Silver Wheaton. Is that it's just been strong like bull, and so it's setting up again. I think next week, if the markets are all moving and it looks like the inflation trade is going to be put on the front burner, I think they're going to have a hard time keeping Silver Wheaton down. And so I expect the miners are going to start pushing up again. I just don't see it. It's coming back down to the VWAP here anytime soon. I think VWAP is going to come up and catch up to it at the very least, and then Silver Wheaton's going to keep moving again, and its sister is SALJ. And this time I'm playing the small cap silver miners, so I don't have to chase 6 or 7 different names. And so this one looks like it has a little bit more work to do. And if we can get this low to hold, then it's going to push up higher. If not, SALJ will probably come down here into the low 18s. And if it does that, then I'm going to buy my last tranche of SILJ. And what's really exciting to me, because it's been a little long suffering for me, is that I think we finally got our reversals in wheat and corn. Oil, they had very bearish oil report, and oil sold off on that, and they came right up back up through it. And when bad news equals higher stock prices, then there's a reversal there. So all the bad news is out. And I think that's what happened with corn and with wheat. On Friday, the USDA came out with some sort of absolutely fantastical news on production of the grain harvest for this year. Their estimates going out, and with big volume, both corn and wheat sold off pretty hard, and then they ended up over those prices. And I think contracts were rolling too. And so whenever bad news is greeted with higher stock prices, you got to take notice, and that's what happened with wheat, and that's what happened with corn. And so I think the ags are now moving too. So now we have oil moving, we have gold already moved, we have miners that already moved, and we have the ags are starting to move. And so they got the inflation trade going now. So I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this genie in the bottle, but if not, it'll be the seeds of their destruction. So for next week, I'm looking for a pretty positive week, and I'm just going to play it that way unless the market proves to me otherwise. Now, Mondays are typically down days, so don't judge the week by Monday, and but we'll judge it by Tuesday. Now, if it's up on Monday, then we just have to ride the trend. So that's kind of where I'm sitting. And then just a couple other stocks to look at here is XIV. The contract's rolling next week, but they had a hard time keeping XIV down, and it was actually up on Friday, which surprised me because I stayed out of it thinking, hey, we'll probably push down a buck or two, let the contract roll. But there's just so much desire for people to sell volatility that it's just staying strong. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. I day traded it a little bit on Friday, and just made a couple dollars on it. And I'm going to go ahead and look at it again for next week. And either I'm going to play it with XIV or I'm going to buy some UVXY puts for the following Friday just to give me some time and see if I can generate some cash from that. And then one more on the tech side is that BRKS, Brooks Automation, is we've been trading in that. We got a buy signal out on Friday, and I stayed away from it, but I'll probably buy it on Monday if I can get it over the Friday's high price. And then one stock that was given to me by another trader that I've been trading with calls, and I finally made a market call on it, is SPLK. It's just been a thing of beauty, and so just keep riding it up. We had a good day on it on Friday. Might sell down a little bit on Monday, or just a little bit more of a carry through. But I think this one's going to keep moving. So hat tip to my friend who shared this with me, and it's a really nice stock here, especially if we think tech's going to start moving into the fall and into the winter. So anyway, those are my charts that I'm looking at right now for the weekend. And if I see anything interesting more, I'll post another video later. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch up with everybody on Monday. Bye-bye.